Boyle. How's it going? Well, look what we got in the shop. I believe it's a 51 Ford. It's a buddy of mine, his truck. Well, it's actually his dad's truck. But, yeah, we're going to see what we can do with it. I kind of offered up to give him a hand, get it going. He was having some problems trying to get the points figured out or sorted out and whatnot. So I feel I can give him a hand with that. It's kind of a cool truck. It's got a cool story. It's a local truck to here. But we don't even know. I think it was around 84. I guess this thing went to BC and sat at a museum out there. I'll get somebody else to tell you the story because I'm not very good at remembering how it goes. But all I do know is it went to Alberta. A bunch of brothers kind of did a restoration in the early 80s, gave it to their grandfather. It sat at a museum in Alberta to which they would use and use it in parades and stuff. And then from there, it came back here about, what did he say? 20 years ago, maybe? Something like that. And it sat out for about 10, 15 years. Spent 5 years in the quonset. So, like the thumbnail and like this picture here is going to pretty much show you where it was sitting for the past couple of years. This should be pretty interesting. Should be fun. It is a really nice truck, though. Like there's, I don't know. Doesn't have a whole lot of rot. All right, buddy. We'll hook you up. Hey guys. I know. I'm taking away from your time. Bunch of goofs. All right. Again. So anyways, it's a really nice truck. Everything sort of looks like it works on it. We don't know for sure. We'll have to figure that out. But I don't know. It's kind of nice. It's got a funky 80s vibe to it. It definitely smells 80s inside, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really gone through it or done nothing. He pretty much dropped it off, and we're going to see if we get it running and driving, stopping. Possibly we'll see it out cruising this summer. Like everything's not terrible. It's not rotten or anything. It's got some funky patches, but that's to be what they were, right? Get into the meat and potatoes of it. Where is this stuff? Right there. Oh. So there we go. Well, survey says. Oh, one of those. Oh no, it's loose. This is going to be easy. This will be easy. So I'm going to guess it's still 6 volt. We'll kind of go with that. We'll see if it has any oil in it. That's always nice. We can. We'll change it all, but I want to at least just get it to fire. Oh yeah, she's full. Perfect. I'm going to have to find a battery. That'll be the first plan of attack. Let's see what's going on in here. There's nada. The points are not in there, so I'll have to figure that one out. I think he has them in the truck though. And I think before when I looked, I'm gonna guess because the fuel system is this, the fuel tank might not be good. I guess the next step is to figure that out. Now, if I remember right, I seen a bucket here that had all of our points and condenser in it. So I think they're new. They look new. New-ish. Yeah. I think we're good. Well, let's just blindly throw these in. I'm going to disconnect the rest of the system right now because I think it's all 6 volt. So I don't want to convert anything. We'll just try to fire it up and see if we can get it to run on 12 volt. And then see where we go from there. All right. Well, I think before we even try to throw them in, we should just file these suckers. Yeah, you can see some crud on it. I don't know if you can or not, but there is. I'm doing it wrong. Somebody let me know. I don't know any different. See if we can snug this down. Well, that should work. Get her to the top there. Darn it. What are you supposed to have? Is it 15? 15 tau? Do we just eyeball it? Let's go with that. Looks about right. Ooh. Snug this stuff up here. All right, I think these were 5/16 in the day. All righty. Well, he did bring me a battery. It's complete crap, but maybe with the booster we can actually make it do something maybe. Let's see what happens. Let me grab it. So dug around in the shed. Why are these all different sizes? So I dug in my shed. I found a 12 volt coil. So we're gonna just swap this out for experiment's sake. I'm not sure if I showed it, but I did take the power out of the system. And I'm just gonna dump this coil in here for now. Put this one back. Because the 12 volt battery, or the 6 volt battery I got does not work. So I'm gonna just run it on 12 volt, but I'm just gonna jump the wire to the coil and just straight to the battery. We'll see how that goes. And I'll just run a jumper wire here. And there we go. See if we can get a spark. So I'm gonna close this up. We're gonna jump this one to the battery. Right to there. Let's see. See a spark? Oh, can you see that? If not, look at this. There's so much spark. Minty, minty. Okay. Let's disconnect this. We'll make sure nothing is stuck. That is so much wind. All right, this is going to be my easiest willet start. So this cap and rotor back on. Pretty straightforward. Click. And this will go click. Okay, not so click. Not so clickety click, but we'll get it. Okay, one down. Two down. Okay. So that's good. That works. That doesn't work so good. I think our gas pedal's a little stuck. Okay, we'll do it that way. Let's find us some fuel. All right. I don't think this is the freshest of fuel, but let's fill up the bowl. Give her a little shot of gas. Hook up our coil. We gotta hook up our coil. All right, survey says. Love it. That's easy as pie. What a that is lovely. Don't you love a flathead? Man, these things run nice. Like the sewing machine. Okay, next task. We'll get a jerry can hooked up to it. Now, maybe we'll dump the oil. Should do that. I know a lot of people will be against how we did this, but I don't know. Gotta make sure it works, right? All right, so let's dump the oil. Let's put some fresh oil in it. I don't have a 6-volt battery, so we'll have to get one yet because it's needs that. The rest of the system's 6 volts, so I'm not going to change anything. If it worked like that, we'll leave it. I want to see if it pulls fuel though. Make sure the fuel pump works and stuff. That'd be good. And we got to spray down this throttle linkage because it doesn't really want to work. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I think I found the problem. I found the missing rad cap. Oh, look at that. Holy, what is that? Interesting. Okay, throttle works now? Oh yeah, fixed it. All right, we are rocking. It's awesome. Well, let's see if it'll pull fuel. Actually, we can do that in 2 seconds right now. We'll fill this back up. I'll give her a little squirt. And we're gonna let it suck out of this jug. Right here. Look how small that line is. Oh, we'll put that there. And let me get you guys positioned. We'll see if you can see the fuel bowl. Hopefully you can see the fuel bowl over there. All right. And service says you gotta hook up the coil. Here we go. There it goes.
Mint.
Good enough for now. Good enough for now. All right, well, where is it? This battery is no good, so we ditched that. We went with 12 volt, but we disconnected the whole system. So this wire up here is actually the whole system in the truck. So, and then these old buggers had a little button underneath it, so you could actually start it. So that's how we've been doing everything right now. The 6 volt coil's up there, 12 volts there. I wired it straight up and just had a jumper wire going to the battery. So from there we just filled the carburetor, and then we have our fill jug sitting with that little hose in it. So that filled the system and it's good. So technically she runs now. So we may as well give her a little tune up. We're gonna go dump the oil, put some fresh oil. I'll have to dig around. I think I have a filter I can put in there. I mean, the oil doesn't look that bad, but we'll put some new ones in for the heck of it. And we'll push the truck back. We're gonna lift it up on the hoist. We may as well see how all the brakes look. See if the e-brake works. And well, check the fuel tank, because clearly they disconnected it for a reason. I don't know why. So we'll pull the drain plug, see what comes out, and see if we can kind of get everything together here. This is working out rather quickly. Well, we don't know yet. We don't know how bad the brakes and stuff are, so even if the master cylinder is any good. I might check fluid in it because it's been sitting, but whatever. I don't know. I'll check the fluid because there's some in the truck. We'll fill up the master. We'll see what happens. Let's do that. We got her up. I have to put blocks in the back, so I don't trust those things. But let's have a look-see. Looks pretty good. Whoops. I don't know how well you folks can see here. But it's definitely solid. Like, it's got a lot of surface rust, but that's nothing. Seems okay. Yeah. He was right. There's no shocks in the back. I don't know why. The bolts are there. I don't know why they would have taken those off. Oh, look at that. All right. What would you call that? I call it a glass pack. That's pretty long though. Would that be what they call the Hollywoods or something? Is that right? Is that the right term? I don't know. A little bit of rot there. Pretty good though. Oh, same on that spot. I don't know. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. We'll probably just spray everything, see how it goes. Fuel tank doesn't look like it has a drain, but I might just pop that line off or cut that line because it's probably cruddy anyways. See if anything comes out. Then we can at least twist this off. See if it's full of junk or not. And I guess we can check to see if the master cylinder has anything in it. That'd probably be a good place to start. Survey says bone dry. Not good. Alrighty. Well, we may as well just start at the wheels and make our way around then. Well, these all, well, this one struggled a little bit. Not a big deal though. The pads all look like they're new. That's all good. Wheel cylinders, I'm probably just going to tear them apart, pull the wheel cylinders, rebuild them. Just, I shouldn't say, well, we'll hone them, clean them, check them out. We're here. We may as well do it. See how that goes. These were like a complete win because the drum comes off. So, well, that's like happy times. So I don't know if anything's leaking. You know, this stuff feels soft, but let's tear them apart. Yeah, because you can see there's some white splits in there. So we should, we'll clean those up. That master cylinder was empty, so we should probably pull that thing off. Check it out. But it's got all new brakes on it, like pads. The shoes all, no, the drums are all good. The pads are all brand new. So they're not like delaminating, nothing weird happening. So we'll just, oh yeah, look at that thing. Oh. Hopefully they clean up. If not, I guess we'll just order some new wheel cylinders. Not a big deal. New wheel cylinders, new master cylinder. We'll see if they clean up first. If that works, mint. If not, it's going to sit here for a couple days while we wait for parts, but not a big deal. Anywho, let's start tearing this stuff apart. I'm going to see if I can do this with minimal tear down. We'll have to check to make sure all the lines want to come loose so I don't break everything. Maybe they want to replace everything. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they want to do. We'll check one thing, two things out at a time here and go from there. Well, let's do the old snip here and see if there's any fuel in here. Holy, that's like perma rot. It's either going to be messy or nothing. I'm hoping for nothing. Mint. Mint, mint, mint. Alright. Well, you know what? We may as well yeah, I'm going to undo this fitting anyways. Let's just see inside this tank. See if this will let me unscrew it or not. Just making sure there's no junk in there. Yeah, see, it sort of looks molassy. Oh yeah. Alright, survey says there's going to be some stank coming out here soon. Ugh. Oh yeah, it smells nasty. Yuck. Gross. Well, the fuel's almost drained out. That's a good thing. It stinks like you wouldn't believe in the shop right now. Hey Pablo, does it stink? It stinks. I don't know. You're pretty gassy, so I don't know. You probably can't smell over your own stink. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. There's a good chance the tank won't be too bad because, well, it had a whole lot of fuel in it. Still want to get a good look inside of it, and then we'll see if it's if there's some garbage in it. But I guess we'll have a better look when I figure out what to do with that stuff. I'll get the drain out. I'll probably pull the sender out. We'll have a look. If anything, I can just hot wash the tank and we'll see if that'll clean it out a bit. Give it a big old spray and maybe that'll do something. Anyways, I guess we're gonna wait for that. I basically pickled all my brake parts. So I gave everything a little spurts of oil, or what do you want to call it? Some penetrating oil. Just want to see if I can get all the lines off without breaking them. I talked to my buddy there and he's just decided we're just gonna order all new wheel cylinders. We're not gonna mess with it. It'll just be faster in the long run. So we'll wait for those to come. I'm gonna kind of work on the fuel system. We'll get everything running well. All those bits sorted out, and then we'll do the brakes. Well, there's not a lot of good things going for this tank. The sender is kind of stuck. The float was full of fuel, as you can tell. So I'm struggling a little bit. And then when we kind of look, I don't know if you can see inside of there. Try to, yeah, you're not gonna see. But judging by the splits on here, gives you a pretty good idea what the inside of that tank looks like. So, got to look for another one. I might have one actually in the barn for him. You can see right on there. Look how bad that is. That's just nasty. I do have a fuel tank in the barn, so it's from one of these trucks. Hopefully it'll, it's not bad. I think it's full of fuel too. So I guess the only way we're gonna know is go grab it, see how it, see if it'll work. All right, well, like Christmas around here, we got all new brake cylinders, all new hoses. We got a new master cylinder. We got Trevor over, so he's pretty much for just tearing the master cylinder out. You're gonna do the wheel cylinders quick, bleed these brakes, and see where else we get. All right, you might be seeing me messing around with the torch. What I was doing is I was actually heating up the bolt on the back for the line because they were stuck and they want to turn and twist themselves off. But you just hit them with a little bit of heat, and you don't have to re-flare your line if it's still good. So anyways, we got the front ones. Trevor's got the front wheel cylinders in. We got new lines on. He's just working on the back lines right now, or the back wheel cylinders. And I'm going to replace the line. I've already got that loose. So the next step is put the line on. After he finishes changing the wheel cylinders, we'll you done barking? Done making noise? So anyways, after we're gonna put that thing on the bench bleed it, and then bleed the rest of the brakes, and all we gotta do is work with that fuel tank, get that sorted out, and take her for a spin. Right, buddy? Go for a ride? That's definitely the ticket, right? All right, anyways, we're gonna do that. Finish that up and see where we go from there. Alrighty, gonna bench this baby. I think I have one of these that fit in there. That one looks like the winner. You put it on top of the...
I did?
Yep. Alright. Pretty much stab a hose in there and keep squeezing until you got no bubbles. Cool. And then now I'm going to put the plug back in. So we're doing the old brake bleed. Trevor's on pedal duty. I'm on bleeder duty. Which works out okay because that's the joy of having your master cylinder under the floor. It can be pretty much in sequence here. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, good. Just a couple pumps and then we're golden. Oh, I think I got one of these not so good wrenches here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. That's a gooder. Well, we got all the brakes bled on it. We have the drums off in the back because we're trying to get the e-brakes loose. So we've been just lubing everything up, seeing if we can get that all done. It's not too bad. We're waiting on Trevor's going to get a battery for it. He's grabbed the fuel tank, so he's going to try to steam wash it at work. See if we can get that cleaned up and usable. I know both the senders are good. So the one that came out of my tank doesn't look like it leaks. So we'll probably use it because I tested these. I was going to try using one of these on my hot rod, but I realized they both work. They're the wrong range for mine, so I wasn't going to wreck them just because. I could still use them on something. So where are we at? Well, we're getting close. We want to get the fuel tank back. We're going to rerun the line. Put a filter on before the motor just so if there is still some junk in the tank, we'll catch it. Antifreeze in there, the battery. Yeah, she's just about ready for a good wash. I know he has the stock tires for the truck yet, so I think he's going to bring those out because these are kind of a little dry rotted and just not very cool looking. The other ones are like the stock bias plies for the truck, so we're going to put those back on. But anyways, we're going to wait till we get a few of those bits before we get back to this truck, so not a big deal. Anywho, I guess until he gets his tank washed and stuff, we're sit here twiddling our thumbs. All good. All right, Trevor was by. I think he's going to be by that. He's going to be back later. We have the original tires, which are pretty cool. Although this one's got a bit of dry rot on her. Although it's not a very good tire when you compare it to that other one. Yeah, they're like that. Whatever. I think they'll hold air at least, so that's cool. He got the tank. He steamed it all at work, so that seems all good. Gonna check the inside, see if that's good. I don't think we have a gasket, so we'll probably have to make one of those. Because I only have half a gasket on this one and no gasket on this one. So I'll have to make a gasket for it. We'll slam it back in the truck. We're gonna hook it up, come up here. We're gonna put an inline filter up there, back in. And then, yeah, still got to get a battery and put the coolant in. But I think we got to do a little more pickling yet on the brakes. See if we can get those, well, the emergency brakes. Want to get those loose yet. So I'll probably lift it up, do that quick. Just get another spurts on there before we call her done. And throw the wheels on. Well, the owner of the truck's coming by tonight. My buddy's dad there. So he's going to tell us a little story about this thing. The actual story. So we'll get a little background and a little bit of history on this. I think that'll be pretty cool. He's also bringing the battery for the truck, or a good battery. And we'll be able to start finishing and buttoning this thing up.
We bought it just after Henry and Dick moved in from CG's to Shell. So they were...
That was the 80s for sure.
That was 82.
So
They took over from Mel.
So 82
And then this truck came along with them because the owner that I bought it from, Don Vincent, he had dropped it off. He wanted something done to it. Brakes, that's right. I had to do brakes.
Well, they're still new. A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of the bits.
But they had done a bunch of work on the brakes, but
Yeah.
they weren't done yet. Because they knew that it needed something else. Like Master was leaking, but I knew that all the years that we've used it. Every time we fire it up, I put some fluid in it, bleed it, and it should be good for the season.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Not
It's all
anymore,
new
but-
now.
It's all new.
All brand new.
When you find out all that stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He found it all
Yeah.
easy.
And then after we bought it, it went out to Air Canada,
Yeah,
Alberta.
Me and Uncle Jake brought it, yeah.
So he was, I think, yeah, you were 10, 11 years old when you went out there.
Yeah.
Dragged it out.
Drink with like Chrysler New Yorker
Yeah,
and Tobar.
yeah, that's exactly it. I went out there. And then
remember
it stayed there till,
John brought it with his Ford.
Uncle John brought it in from the Ford
And that was,
because they weren't doing nothing with it.
it was like 2 years after he moved into the big
Yeah,
house.
I was just saying, 94, because you bought the house in 93,
It was 94, 95 when he brought it.
so 94, 95, we brought it back. And then I started doing some stuff on the pictures I sent you.
Yeah. I've seen them.
That's where we're sitting, that's when it came back. We're sitting out there. And then year after that, I got the cover for it. So it was sitting out there. And every once in a while I'd go fire it up, especially when the young guys would show up.
I'd make adjusting it.
I told them, okay, you go get the jack, you go get the stuff I need. And hook the battery up, fire it up.
Yeah.
And that's when the found that the tank was getting too rotten.
Yeah.
So I just put a jerry can right here, hooked it to the field line down there,
Yeah.
and that's how I drove it up and down the street. Gave them rides,
Yeah.
parked it back up to the yard, and put it back on blocks. They had to help me with the blocks.
You had no brakes.
No brakes, because I did it just for a little ride. I'm not going to go through the whole.
Yeah.
And we've owned it since '82. I paid $500. No, $700.
Oh yeah?
$700.
That's lots of money back then.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not my truck. It's my brother's. Me and my my brothers own it.
Yeah.
We had 4, but he passed away.
Yeah. Good gig.
So I bought his share.
They're all from Alberta.
I bought his share and my kid brother, because we had enough shares for all the brothers to get into it,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the money, so we all got shares and divided it up to 7.
Yeah.
And all the money that we spent, my brother in Calvert, he did the floor on it, all the new wood. And my dad, they put all new wood on it. They painted it because it was all solid blue.
Yeah.
When we first got it,
I have a picture of it.
It's all blue. I think originally it was green.
yeah, originally it was green.
Yeah.
And then the guy I bought it from had painted it all blue. And then my brother John and my dad painted it all black.
Black and blue they actually painted.
Yeah, because that's what all those trucks, that's what they were. Red and black,
Yeah.
gray and black,
Green and black.
green and black.
Well, that was cool. So judging by the story, there's a good chance we probably should just change that voltage regulator, get that done with. And I know Trevor had brought the tires, so let's get those tires on. Let's get the fuel tank. I brought that out over here. Basically the plan is we don't have a gasket, so all I'm gonna do is just do like I did on the fuel tank on my 37. I'm just gonna make a gasket quick, punch it out, bolt that in, and then we can bolt this sucker into the truck quick. And hopefully when it gets a filter or two, we'll be able to run this tank and see if it's any good. He did pressure wash it, or like hot washed it, steam washed it. Still looks a little bit of junk at the bottom, but I guess you'll have to run it and find out. Anyhow, let's figure this out. This should be super simple, and we'll get her in the truck. Well, we hit her with the old hot wash over there. So, we got her clean. Except it's a little cold out, so gonna let it unthaw. Everything's actually frozen on it. So, we're gonna let that all dry. And then we're gonna go pick up our linseed oil and we're gonna give her a little hose down with that. $1 up. And then we're gonna take her for a rip. See how she goes. Well, I got our rags little drying on the floor along with my gloves. Right, buddy? Well, we put a pretty aggressive coat of linseed oil on there, so she's a little overly shiny right now, but that should dull down a little bit there once it dries a little bit. But I think it came out pretty nice. Looks pretty new. Only thing left to do is take her for a spin. How's that sound? Want to take it for a rip? Hey, let's go find a blanket to put in the seat so you can sit in there. If I'm gonna walk home, I want somebody with me. She should be a good one. These old flatties are reliable as heck. Let's go for a rip, bud. But I'm pretty happy the way this all turned out. It boogied around, no problems. Ran out of gas only once. But other than that, runs, drives nice. Stops super nice. I guess that's about where we're going to leave it. It's going to sit in here for a little bit. A buddy of mine, some of the electrical, the brakes, and the signals aren't working right. And we just looked through the harness and it looks like it's probably never really worked. So he's going to go fart around with that a little bit when he's got some free time and stuff. So it'll probably sit in the background for a little while here. But yeah, other than that, everything was good. It was a good ride, pup. Were you pretty happy with that? Yeah? Right on. Anywho, guess that's where we're going to leave it. I want to thank you folks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.